welcome to BTB Hot Takes with Andrew Kratzer. Now here's your host, Andrew Kratzer.
Welcome to another live edition of Beyond the Barricade presents Andrew's Hot Takes. I'm your host, Andrew Kratzer. Alongside, what the frick is this shit? Like, did you change this AEW and W New Japan Pro Wrestling show isn't as big as you think? Mike Steinberg, aka Dr. Evil.
Already firing shots there, Mike.
Nah, shots fired. Shots fired.
Mark,
I
mechanic
as
Ray.
the video was going.
Yeah, you're no longer Mark L. Ray. You're Mark the mechanic Ray.
Well, we'll talk about that at a later time.
Jesus.
And
Jesus.
And my lovely producer / co-host Rodney. I love wrestling Harris.
That's the best you can do.
Yeah, for now.
Jesus Christ, man.
But yeah, I just want a quick shout out to my cousin Jessica, who gave birth to a baby boy, Cole John, on Tuesday. 8 pounds, 10 ounces.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. K Marvel with the early check-in wants to join.
Okay, Marvel.
Get him
Yeah,
a link.
you're good. Yeah, let's go. You're joining.
And
We
Jessica
got
Hoffman.
Oh
we
my
got
God.
Hello, Jessica Hoffman. We got some stuff to discuss about
Hold
last
on.
night.
I gotta let Chris in. Chris on the check in.
Hey, Chris.
Chris coming in the building. I got K.
Hey,
Marvel, gotta get the link. K coming in.
He said, "Send me this." Also,
All right,
a big shout out to Kenny's dad.
Senor Di
His
Carlis.
birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Hello, and Mitch said today is my grandpa's birthday.
Shout
Hello,
out
Chris.
to-
How you doing?
Shout out
What's
to
up,
Grandpa.
Andrew?
We had a good night last night in Brooklyn. Ronnie was showing me places that he worked and
Andrew.
everything.
Andrew got caught between the moon and New York City.
Oh yeah.
Yo, it took
Best
an
thing that
hour.
he could do is fall in love.
Yo, it took an hour and like 3 minutes to get to that freaking venue though. But I blame the Mets game.
I honestly think Arthur was inspired by Andrew's life. No, you ever seen the movie Arthur, Andrew?
No,
You
but
check it out.
my dad has it on DVD, and every time we have like a family get together or something,
They all watch Arthur.
he brings it on the fucking family trips.
Really?
And yes. And he goes, if we have any downtime, we can watch this. I'm like,
Yeah, the downtime we could just watch.
You need a lot of downtime to watch that.
Does he blast Christopher Cross?
no. But
The best that you can do is fall in love. Like, oh, yeah.
and
We lost
Chris has
Oh
disappeared.
no, we lost Chris.
But me and Rodney had a great time at Battle Club Pro. We met up with K Marvel and his boys and Janelle and Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. Mr. Black actually ref his first match last night.
Yo, yeah, come on, man, Mr. Black. Shout out to Mr.
Yo.
Black. Give a round of applause for Mr. Black.
Yeah.
Over here repping his first match. Man, shout out to him. Always supporting the podcast. Always out here. Always looking for the new episode. I appreciate you, brother, man. Shout out to you, man. Taking
Yeah.
over the rest of the world. That Jabba Tears network over there. They taking over the universe of wrestling.
He refed his first match last night. It was like a battle royale. It was they called it Survival of the Fittest, where their rules were it would be
Oh, he
two
reffed?
people. Yeah, he refed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But
Did a
it
hell of a
was-
job, too.
Yeah. So the Survival of the Fittest match started off with 2 women in the match, and they brought out every woman in the match.
Yeah.
And their rule is after 4 or 5 minutes, I believe, if there is no pinfall or submission, every woman comes in the ring. It comes a battle royale, and the last 2 standing have a match. So
Wow, that's
it was-
interesting.
yep. So
And
it's
also, I want to shout out my boy Ian Davids, the lead admin of THWF. I'm just glad he's doing okay. He got into an accident last night, actually leaving the show. Some lady tried to cut across an intersection, and she hit him.
so like a T-bone.
Yeah. Well, she actually hit him from the side, right in the driver's side door.
So that's
But
it's
I'm
even.
very glad he and his girl are doing okay. So
What was that on the back of the screen, Mike? What was that picture?
Let's see if it works.
So, Andrew, that was a battle royal with the last two contestants do a last man standing.
No, like a pinfall.
Regular
decision.
I shouldn't believe in thinking that AEW will become more successful.
But yeah, when K Marvel comes on, we'll talk about the Battle Club Pro. But I wanted to give you and Ronnie the flourish kind of way because I kind of hijacked your show for that last half hour, 45 minutes to talk about some NXT. Because
you're good, dude. You didn't hijack us.
No, we're good.
I just had a vent about the one word, the single names.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. If you start out with a single name like Sting, right, like Hook, or if you're a Madonna, it works. But when your fucking name is Matt Riddle and it's changed to Riddle, or your Austin Theory, which reeks of championship name,
yes,
and now you're just Theory, it's fucking stupid. Or if your name was Pete Dunne, and now you just might as well be called the Rabbit Animal. They had my man tied to a forklift.
I saw that. Yo. I was like, what did they do?
You know, like the double R's, right? Rhea Ripley, it works. Okay? Roman Reigns works. But you just can't force that shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And changing people's names, what do you call it? Gibson and Drake now. Now they're Gibson and Drake.
By the way, they might be heading up to the main roster because they said they hung up their. So
I guess that's the clue. We're going to take your first names away. We'll move you up. You know, that's our point on. You can't force that shit, and he's out of hand with it now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every 2 days you're turning around and someone's getting a name changed.
I literally just read something on Sportskeeda yesterday, Chris, about them possibly changing Big E's name.
Oh, no.
So just E?
Just E.
Just E or Big?
Just Big.
I think it's just Big.
Just Big.
They wanted to drop
it. With it. That's our point with that.
First of all, they already took away part of his name. He was Biggie Langston.
Yeah, which I liked Biggie Langston.
It worked.
I miss the guy that used to have the 5 count. He no longer does that shit.
No, I mean, LA Knight will just be Knight.
Knight.
Or LA.
You guys don't agree that Austin Theory screams
championship?
Yes.
But it's
and now Theory is just a word. It's a word. He's relegated to a word.
But then they changed Raquel Gonzalez's name from Raquel Gonzalez to Raquel Rodriguez. That's obviously weird. Marcel Bartel changing to Ludwig. I don't know his last name. Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser. And all these dudes, like we said the other day, made a name for themselves in your own company. So I don't know what his...
I told you why Ludwig Kaiser how it became.
Yeah, because he was eating a Kaiser roll for lunch.
He got brought a Kaiser roll, and the guy that brought it to him was named Ludwig.
But here's what's funny. Funny. Walter said something very interesting though about if I came in this business and I was known as Gunther and I was changed to Walter, you guys would complain the same way.
Sean, what up, bro?
Yeah, true. That does make sense, but it just doesn't seem like it seems like he's doing it just to do it. I don't want to buy the bullshit with he doesn't want them having their real names because we went through the list of people who had their real names.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just E? Keep mental away from Class A drugs, please.
He's just going to be E.
Gunther, not
Walter.
Gunther. Man, but look, I love getting name change if it's something good. Don't give me the trash you've been giving me, man. I'm at the point where I'm frustrated, but I'm used to it. You know, I'm used to stuff like this happening all the time with him now. It's par for the course. You're gonna come in this company, you're gonna get what you get. And I've been telling all wrestlers, been putting out this PSA forever. Uh-oh.
Lost Andrew again.
We lost Andrew.
What happened to Andrew?
This is the second time he cut out too, man. He cut out right before the show. He fucking accidentally reset his computer.
His internet went out.
He says, "Just keep it rolling."
I got it. All right, so
let's talk NXT.
NXT.
That was a hot mess of garbage. Hot garbage.
What do you feel was hot garbage?
First of all, wait, I didn't watch it, but why the fuck did Waller already break away from that guy?
No.
He blamed him for the loss last week.
But it literally was a one loss. One loss.
It was one loss, and then he got ragdolled.
One loss.
Listen, I didn't mind watch him get ragdolled.
Listen, the one thing I'll give Waller is he can really take bumps.
He really can. He's a bump monkey.
He can take bumps.
He's a bump monkey for sure. But
I wouldn't say hot garbage. It was just there was nothing. It was just the show was stale.
You tune in for Nikita Lyons. That's that's what we really tune into for. It's like I'm digging the whole feud with her and Lash Legend. I'm digging it. Two women that have size on them. They both need a little bit more work in the ring, but it's getting there. I like the storytelling. I like the talking backstage. I love it. I love the little segments they've been having. That's good. That's good stuff right there. And both of them aren't bad.
No.
As far as on the microphone, getting in front of the
Nikita Lyons is going to be a star, and Lash Legend, finally they're going to let us see what she could do.
Man, I think Lash Legend, she's not going to disappoint. I think these two ladies right here, they got coming up the pipeline. They're going to be solid. Man, internet all around is just looking bad right now.
Remember
it's really bad. Right,
and then remember the push heard around the world? The Adam Cole push against Orange Cassidy? Well, we have another one. Joe Gacy. Yep. I mean, seriously? I'm supposed to think that you took out Braun Breaker by doing this? Well, did you see that at the end of the show?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
AKA the Diddler.
By the way, NXT's having a spring break show.
Spring breaking. Electric Boogaloo.
Rodney, leave the black border off. It seems to work.
Rodney, did you see breaking?
Yeah, hell yeah, I seen breaking.
All right, I had to ask.
Ozone. Oh, don't get me started. Breaking to Electric Boogaloo. Oh,
Electric Boogaloo.
Stop it. Oh man, see, I don't know what you're talking about. Mike, you might know. Mitch, I know you know, but nah, man, I don't know. Beat Street, all them good movies back in the. Stop it. Beat Street was a damn good movie, very underrated. People, I haven't seen it. Go watch it. Both break-ins. Go watch both break-ins. It'll change your life. You get up in the middle of the living room. I swear y'all learn how to dance. I promise you. You'll be able to do at least one move. At least one. Not gonna do it perfect, but you're gonna do one. You're gonna be able to pop and lock a little bit.
Why do you bring up Spaceballs?
You bring up the weirdest
balls. Well, here's a question for you guys. Does Wes, I forget his last name from
Wesley.
Oh, Wesley.
Does he make it as a singles competitor, or they gotta get him another partner?
I think what me and Ronnie were talking on the car ride to Battle Club is if whenever Trey McGill's contract is up in Impact, I think Wesley needs to convince him to sign at NXT, and then they could be MSK again with them two.
Yeah, but do you think he needs a partner?
What the fuck is going on with the internet?
I don't know. We think he
just lost all three of them.
I'm still here.
What?
I'm here.
No, it cut out. It was buffering. Andrew saw it too, right?
I see you. You look a little choppy. Everybody else look good.
Oh, because I have
then Andrew's starting to look a little choppy.
I know my internet's been fucking shit lately.
I have the blur on. That's why I'm gonna take it off. Though.
Hello, Perso.
Shout out from Australia.
From down under.
Good day, James.
Good night, mate.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, mate.
Oi, mate.
Here's a question I've been waiting to ask Andrew. Did you purchase the Tony Storm
T-shirt yet?
OnlyFans?
No.
It's
not worth it. Mike were talking back.
I follow something that actually posts them, and they said it's You're paying for Instagram photos.
She said I'm not quoting.
She confirmed it. She confirmed it.
It's all sexy pictures, but no nude.
She said she says it's not. Even she was saying it's not worth it. Pretty much.
So
I wasn't expecting her naked, but
tight.
Yeah,
I took a look at it.
But
tight.
I got a question for all of you.
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for the AEW New Japan shit?
No.
I am.
Because I have mixed feelings about it.
James,
You love New Japan.
James
I
said
know.
we need new hamsters for the internet.
But they did a successful show with Ring of Honor in New Japan at the Garden. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this successfully with AEW in New Japan. I feel like better heads will butt heads and stuff about who goes over. Because I don't see Okada putting somebody over in AEW at all.
Yeah.
And also the name Forbidden Door sucks.
Yeah, especially when you've been using the Forbidden Door pretty much for how long?
Well, so does WrestleMania Backlash. That sucks too.
Oh yeah,
I know, but
like one of the tweets I read, which was funny, is this wasn't a game-changing announcement, but good for you fans that are into that kind of stuff. And another one says, as expected, the AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door announcement is news that will excite a lot of men who already watched the product, myself included. You know, the AEW is serving its audience with an announcement like this, but not growing it.
Yeah.
also,
He wants to make an announcement of an announcement that he's going to announce the announcement.
yes, and then have a press conference of that announcement.
Well, are we talking about the AEW situation yet?
Announcing the announcement.
Yes.
Okay. Can I say something?
But they could have went with All In Kingdom or something, mashed up one of their pay-per-views with one of their pay-per-view names and made it something cooler than Forbidden Door. And also, their video game title also sucks. AEW Fight Forever.
Wait. So, what's funny is, okay, AEW Fight Forever. Enjoy the sequel called AEW You Still Got It, and the follow-up AEW You Deserve It.
They could have just matched up
what
the
about
two
This
names
Is
and called
Awesome?
it
Followed by
What about this is AEW. This is awesome.
Yeah, followed by This Is Awesome. Then you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
Or AEW Send Hook.
The AEW cowboy shit.
But literally,
AEW cowboy shit.
they recorded fan reaction last night at AEW for the video game. It's like you couldn't generate that shit yourself.
No, and I was arguing with some guy about this thing. So, because I said this isn't major because of Ring of Honor New Japan doing that MSG show. This person's like, now it's with all three, and I'm like, well, Ring of Honor isn't close to what it was. He's like, it's getting better. I'm like, getting better. He's like, yeah. That you didn't see Supercard of Honor. I'm like, one show doesn't make it better. Plus, they have nobody under contract. He's like, oh, I don't know, the guy. People are just idiots sometimes.
So here's my take. I love it for the New Japan side of things. I think that New Japan doing these crossovers with multiple companies, doesn't have to be AEW, but just doing them in general is always fun. They always make it fun. They always have it's always a good turnout. It's gonna sell. It always works for them on the American side of things. Of course, I would love to see them more. I would love to be a part of that organization a lot more as a fan.
Run of Honor. Yes,
the Run of Honor.
Yes, what's up, Brunjan?
I would love to be a part of that organization more as a fan. But it's just hard at 3:00 in the morning to watch pay-per-views, man. It's hard to tap in. I know Access TV runs the shows, but I'm sometimes wondering if it's current or it's not current, if I'm missing something. So I really love the fact that they get the chance to come on over across the way and wrestle and put on a good show for everybody here on the stateside. And I really don't mind this helping out AEW in this retrospect. Like I said, every time New Japan touches something, it always turns into gold. And the idea is, does this reek of a little bit of desperation? I would say.
I don't think so.
I don't think. I see a lot of people saying, they're a little desperate. maybe if you feel that way, I think that's subjective. And it's basically how you feel about it. But I do feel that a partnership was needed to be done with a major company to help AEW somewhat get over a lot more. And New Japan is that place that everybody runs to partner with because they have some of the greatest talent in the world. Now, why wouldn't I want to partner up with the people that have the greatest talent in the world? That's a great opportunity. It's a great idea. I love it for the New Japan side of things. And keep in mind, folks, this is not going to be a partnership the same way you saw an Impact. That's not going to fly with New Japan. All right, they're not going to just let everybody get buried and then, all guys, let's say Okada's just going to get buried and we're just going to move back over to New Japan and just like nothing ever happened. No, it's not going to work like that.
Yeah. I said Okada's not taking an L. I know a lot of people in New Japan probably won't want to take an L.
Hell no.
Listen, you're talking about a company that's 3 years old, and a year and a half of it was stuck in the pandemic. So, if you judge it by it's a young company, I don't see anything desperate with doing a partnership with New Japan, and I just don't. You got to let things marinate. The year and a half of this, they were stuck in a pandemic, and they were the ones that made watching wrestling every week enjoyable. For the way they did it down in Jacksonville, because we all know what WWE was doing was garbage. As far as so they so I got it's easy to sit and just shit all over it. Which trust me, they make mistakes every week. But a partnership with New Japan, I'm not gonna dump on. And the name, it is what it is. That's his new moniker. He loved He thinks he struck gold with Forbidden Door, and he's going to use it.
And they already announced one match for that. It's going to be Adam Cole versus Ishii.
Yeah, Adam Cole announced it. Yep.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna say this. As far as Forbidden Door goes, to me, I think it's stupid. But it's his thing. He likes using. So many other things I would have called this pay-per-view except Forbidden Door.
Yep.
But if that's what you choose to do, buddy, Godspeed.
It's not forbidden if he's telling you what's coming.
That's what I'm saying.
It's literally just combine the names.
Now, what I'll say this is it too much that they're doing another Chicago show?
Well,
yes.
that's the
hot.
Think about this. But think about this. That's the hottest place they can get.
He's picking the hottest place.
And that's the hottest place for them. Don't get me wrong. Us New Yorkers, we did a pretty damn good job in Arthur Ashe. But from something exotic from India, Forbidden Door. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but at the end of the day, you want to go to a hot button place like Chicago, big time. That people love it. AEW down there. But you know what? Hey, all power to him. This can only help him. This can't hurt him.
But like these other people are saying, it's really not. Is it going to make newer people come in reality?
And it depends on the. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
You're going to get a whole Japan audience.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also a good opportunity to show off that Japanese strong style in America.
Yeah, but they've showed it off here before at times.
But I love. I miss it. It's been a while. I think that's where Mark is going with it. It's been a while.
Exactly. And NJPW is supposed to also, be getting their show back on Access.
This is going to be a pay-per-view, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm excited. You guys would like to come over for it? We can have a watch party. It's up to you guys.
Oh, I'm with
Do
it
in the backyard.
Oh, I'm there.
We could throw some burgers on the grill, hook it up. It's in June, so it should be warm. But, these are the things that people I hear a lot of
Wait, I want to hear if Steinberg's coming over first.
Oh, okay.
Is he coming?
I'd probably come, but I'd probably
Does he turn down Rodney's house and a barbecue?
Yeah, I'd come just for the food.
You see this guy?
I know he's not going to the arena to watch this, but to Rodney's house and a barbecue.
And all the excess energy drinks
that we
can drink.
I got a question. I I could get 4 tickets for $60 for the AEW show.
No.
I know Rodney's
What, UBS?
Yeah.
Mark, you want to go?
Yeah, I want in, but sometimes I get called for overtime, so I'll pay for the ticket regardless.
Okay, so it'll be 15.
What day of the week is that?
A Wednesday.
The ticket's paid for, but if I get called in for overtime, I got to pass. But
okay.
And when is it again? May 11th?
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday, right?
That's a hit or miss for me because I would say yeah, and then if I don't go, then you can just give my ticket to somebody else.
Come on, Mike.
James is coming to your house, Rodney.
Let's go, James.
All the way from Australia. Don't bring no emus.
No, bring all the emus. I want the snakes. I want the spiders. Just don't bring no damn kangaroos in my house, bro.
See, Christopher Brown's that's what I'm talking about.
What'd he say?
He said that's the question, Mike. Will casual wrestling fans give two shits about the AEW New Japan, or would it strictly be watched by diehards from both companies?
I was about to answer the question, but we wanted to know if Mike wanted to come to the house to watch it. I do believe the casual fan right now, it's hard for AEW to relate to because they're not reaching for the casual fan. And that's been the
and that's exactly what these tweets are stating. It's good for the people who will be into that or into strong style, into but it's not bringing in the new people.
Yeah, man, and that's where I think Tony's going to reevaluate at some point and say, 18 to 34 is great, but we need to start reaching the casual person that's crossing through the television. Now, you might say, well, that's why they have Sting, and that's why they have a lot of their older guys, because if the casual fan that's watching will come across the screen and see 65-year-old Sting jumping off a goddamn
pillar,
second pillar out of the sky.
Yeah, but are these the same people who would then go and complain that?
But ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question, Mike. If I'm a casual fan and I'm scrolling through the channels, but I'm just waiting before The Bachelor comes on, and all of a sudden I see Love and Hip Hop, I'm gonna choose between Love and Hip Hop for the rest of the hour before The Bachelor, or am I gonna choose to turn into AEW? And I'm a casual fan. I like my reality television. That's how you got to think about it. It's going to be hard for them to get that. They haven't been really generating themselves towards that. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. They focus on demographic of that range that WWE really hasn't focused in on for a long, long time. So, and don't get me wrong, it's a smart thing to do because that's where most of your ticket sales are going to come from. That's where the most niche diehard fans are within that demographic. So, why not reach for those guys? Why not drag those people in over the last 3 years? Get them hooked on your product. It makes sense. It's a smart thing to do. But now, as time goes on, that's all you're going to have. We got to start generating a new fan.
Yeah, but there are dudes my age that like the ECW shit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, the stuff that they're doing will draw those kind of guys back in that haven't been exposed to that in years.
And that equates to what I'm saying as well. Like, it all depends on who you are and what you're into. Let's just say you haven't watched wrestling in 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Rodney. Those people will then tune in only for those when they hear, say, there's a death match or this and that. And then a lot of those people don't come back other weeks.
That's the tough part. That's the part.
I'll say this. I don't want to hear any excuses for this past Rampage that they had.
Mm-hmm.
That was before SmackDown.
Me and Chris butchered it. On
before SmackDown, and you draw that rating.
Me and Chris butchered it on Monday. We told them how bad it was. It was horrible. It was horrible, man. You can't tell me Texas Death Match and I got no death. I got
no. We both that should have been.
But I'm not even talking about it. I'm just talking about the fact that people always said, oh, Rampage got bad ratings because it was late after SmackDown. This was before SmackDown, and it was worse.
Yeah, but when you're throwing shit up there and people don't know what time it's going on, that it's going on early, and that card should have been on Saturday night. They should have waited and just did a Saturday night Rampage and gave it some publicity and pushed it. They didn't need to do Rampage and do the matches they did and then do the Battle of the Belt. They should have done that all in one. That should have been a Saturday Night Rampage.
Hello, Mr. K. Marvel. How's it going?
Oh,
Man, we
we
lost.
lost him.
No!
Just as
Everybody
fast as
comes
he
in
showed
and
up, we
gets-
lost him.
Everybody shows up and then gets kicked out.
Oh, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew. Danielle Camella is the lovely Vanessa Bourne.
That's
Really?
her name. Okay, yeah. I sent Robbie a
Okay.
text about that before.
Remember Vanessa Bourne from
Yes.
NXT?
Yeah,
Yes.
and she was.
Okay,
wasn't
that's
she paired up
Danielle
with Aaliyah?
Camella.
Okay.
I didn't see your text, my buddy.
Oh, my bad. It's all good.
The lovely
Wait, why didn't
Vanessa Bourne.
Vanessa Bourne. Wait, wasn't she paired up with Aaliyah or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a little bit. Then she went away.
Where has Aaliyah been?
There we
I don't
go.
know. 90 Day.
Hello, K. Marvel. It was great seeing you in person yesterday.
oh yeah, definitely. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm trying to get my
Get home.
ways
We're
up
having
while I
a little
got this
technical
on.
difficulties here.
Okay.
Bear with us. The internet sucks today.
Nah, no worries. Just give me a quick sec. I'll be right back.
Buffering screen
Okay.
on 3 people right now.
And you're
But-
frozen, Mark.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I see
Jesus,
everybody
this
fine.
Internet is
Yeah.
very bad today.
Yeah,
Is
Mark
there-
is frozen.
Where's Mitch? Is there a storm happening? Does your knees hurt?
Mitch, how's your knees?
But
Yeah.
Are we good? Are we good? Are
So-
we good?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it's-
kind of good. Now I just
so
want to
now,
say, no. What is he? Is he back?
Is Mitch still talking baseball?
no.
Mitch
So
Mitch is so random lately,
Yeah. Today there was a train accident,
out of nowhere.
bro. I don't. Once it hits 4:20 p.m., I don't give a shit what goes on.
Wait. Speaking of 420, did you guys see? You know
Arcade
about
Pro
the
shit?
shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. But did you see what Orton posted today?
Yes.
What do you put?
The response to the shirts was so good that Randy Orton said the response is so overwhelming that Riddle and I talked to WWE Shop and continuing to keep them moving. Even though it's 421, it is 420 twice a day.
What was the shirt? What was the original shirt?
It says RK Bro 420, and then the back said, "I just smoked your ass."
Oh, nice.
With the smoke coming out the Viper head
That's cool.
with the hat on it.
So they're gonna keep them going.
I
What's
guess.
At least
that
for
way?
today. At least for
Was
today.
it a real shirt, Mike?
Yes.
It was a
Like you could buy it?
Go ahead.
Yes. Hello,
Andrew,
Mr.
were you making a 420 reference for yourself?
No,
Oh,
but
that
once
was your Freudian slip.
yeah. Right.
And you said he just smoked your ass.
I wish.
Bruh.
Once that shit becomes federally legal, I might try some.
You could do it with the Street Profits too.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I want
You want the smoke?
Andrew, why don't you just go to New Jersey and do it in New Jersey?
No, but if they randomly drug test me at work,
Oh.
Does that count now? That since it's legal?
Well, here's the thing: you're still not. Yeah, well, it's legal, but you're still not supposed to. If your job says you're not supposed to be high on the job, they can.
No,
say-
I know. No, some jobs took it away out of the drug test.
until it's federally legal, when they get treated like alcohol, then we're able
Yeah,
to.
Gotcha.
federally, most federal. What the fuck? My fault. Most federal jobs, you can't. Like they just won't let you. Federal, hospital, some
Yeah.
hospital. But mainly, oh shit, it was just a hit and run. That's crazy. But a lot of jobs, because it's getting legalized in a lot of places, are backing off. And I think that's what makes me happy about the WWE announcing what they announced, because not only because, you know, as we know, Chris and I are partakers in the fun times, but it shows the growth in the company. And I think at the end of the day, that's one of the most important things to take away from it.
Nothing
And
like it.
What- yeah, what-
Plus, we all know Vince was blowing it down with RVD. So
Yeah. What did the WWE do? They took it out of the testing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're no
they're not
longer
testing them anymore.
getting you in trouble for it.
Yep. Literally, Sasha, I think, admitted that she's smoking weed now.
Like, you know, Riddle and Orton are.
Yes.
Riddle and Orton are definitely blowing it down.
They turn a blind eye in the NBA to it.
Yep.
And I think the NFL made some changes to it.
J.R. Smith just told us that, yo, everybody was smoking in the bubble.
J.R. Smith.
But last night's Battle Club Pro, man, was amazing.
Both cards were great.
Yep. We showed up with an hour left in the first card, but then the women's card. Woo!
Yeah, man, those women put on a hell of a show. They really did. First and foremost, you know, we've been to a few Battle Club shows now. The talent that they, in the words of Broken Matt Hardy, procured, but the talent that they have, and the students from the fallout, because that's something I want to touch on too. But the talent that they get, be it Big Swole, you know, sadly Tasha Steele and Lady Frost weren't there, but Tasha Steele, Savannah Evans, I'm gonna pronounce her name wrong. Jokay, right?
Jokay. Yeah, Jokay.
You know, like there's, you know, they have an amazing roster, and you guys didn't show up for the tag title match, right?
We got there just as the tag title match was going on.
Yeah, so those 4 men, those 8 men put on one hell of a 4-way elimination match. And the two that were eliminated first were students. I don't know about the other 2 who were at the end when they fought. It wasn't Freak Show. Was that what they were called? Freak Show. But the students did their damn thing. Like on the men's card, on the women's card, like I was very, very impressed.
That's good. I'm kind of jealous I didn't get to go, but it is what it is.
No,
but Jabba Slams next year.
Yes, Jabba Slam.
August 20th.
August 20th.
In August, yeah.
So, everybody mark it down on your calendar. Would like to pull up as a group and show support. It's always fun. Jabba Slam is always fun. They always get great talent to come in, make an appearance, have great matches. The card is always stacked. When I say stacked. Last year's card was so stacked. It was good. It started from start to finish. It was amazing. Plus the networking before, you know, as a sponsor, you get to go in there an hour before and really network. That's why I met this gentleman right down here. Came over. That's why I met Four Quarters of Commentary. Got to learn about the Council of Commentary, who they really are, what they represent.
Absolutely.
And if it wasn't for me getting in there, I wouldn't be able to do that. So shout out to the Jobber Tier Podcast for giving us that opportunity. It was amazing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Big shout outs to Jobber Tiers. I mean,
Kyle, and I brought this up before. I don't know if you saw. Did you see that Ian got into an accident leaving the show last night?
Who?
Ian Davids?
No.
He got into an accident leaving the show last night.
The hell?
Yeah, some lady cut across the middle of the intersection and ran right into the side of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Do you think?
No, the sick part about a lot of going to these indie events. We got another one coming up at YWC.
That's gonna be a good one. I want to go to that one.
April 30th.
I haven't been to an NYWC in mad long.
And got a big
I used to go to the ones out in Deer Park.
Oh yeah, the Deer Park shows are always fun. As long as it's the right card, the right people are wrestling. But just go support your independent wrestling, folks, man. Yeah, this is how the business keeps growing. These young, talented young ladies and gentlemen come in there and they do their thing. And
Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy. Me and Chris saw Joe Gacy in the Elks Lodge.
Oh wow!
We saw him in the Elks Lodge in a battle royal.
Rodney, the Knights of Columbus that I did my son's baby shower at, they have a partnership with NYWC. I didn't know that. They had flyers in there for NYWC.
Really?
Yeah, the hall that we did the baby's baby shower at.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well, shout out to them.
and that's not too far from me. That's right in I think it's in Lynbrook, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's in Lynbrook.
Yeah, you were there, right? Did you come for that?
Oh hell yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I think. Yeah, I was there. My parents couldn't make it there.
Yeah, you and Trish showed up, but your
My man
mom,
got
your
KFC.
mom.
Look at this. Look at this chubby man over here, yo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
yeah, I remember
I
that.
just want to bring something up. Okay,
Go ahead.
it's the tale of pretty much hypocritical, conflicting things. So Fightful Select, okay, says that Miro is now supposedly healthy and is just waiting for creative. Now, Fightful also states.
I read that on Sportskeeda as well.
Fightful Select has learned more about Alexa Bliss's absence from WWE, which is said to not have been originally tied to her wedding as much as a complete lack of creative direction.
Yep. I read that too.
I read that as well.
Pretty much, like the one thing says, notice that Miro was just waiting for creative, but Alexa Bliss has a complete lack of creative direction. Two ways of saying the exact same thing coming from the exact same news source, but it gives you a different feeling.
Yeah.
I also read.
Come on, Mike. We all know that Tony has deep ties into these dirt sheet riders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Vince don't play with the dirt sheets. A lot of people in that company can't stand a lot of the dirt sheet guys.
What's funny is like someone was commenting saying Fightful was getting yelled at by a lot of readers for being too pro WWE, and now they're bad. Now they're the opposite.
You know, listen, you gotta sell subscriptions, brother. You know how it goes.
But it's like let's just say both of them are just waiting for creative. Like,
yeah, they're waiting for creative. I was gonna bring up Alexa Bliss. They said it. They said it before. Alexa, they don't have anything for her at the moment, and Alexa's trying to get back into the fold and get back into the swing of things.
Yes,
Miro, but like Bailey's ready to come back. Oscar's ready to come back. Alexa's ready to come back.
Yeah,
the women's division needs a lot of help, but you don't have the adequate storytelling and all this creative that we're pushing. This is what I told Andrew in the car yesterday. We need to start focusing in on this mid card a little bit more in WWE.
Do you think that with Austin Theory winning, that they are starting to focus more on that?
I think that it's time to elevate with that. If you're gonna want Austin Theory to be a star, it's time for you to focus on Austin Theory.
So
and push him.
Jess, I was actually just going to touch base on this. So I read on Sportskeeda yesterday that Bray is either considering WWE or AEW. The problem is he's asking big numbers.
Money.
He's asking very big numbers.
What, WWE's trying to get him back?
Yeah, so WWE was either going to try to get him back, or he was considering AEW, but he's asking big money.
Well, he should ask WWE for big money if they're trying to get him back.
He's asking both. He wants big money no matter where he goes.
I also read on Sportskeeda last night that WWE is actually interested in FTR again.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, that's not surprising.
But did you guys see that they have Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood going at it in the Owen Hart Foundation thing?
Yep,
I think that's going to be an incredible match. That's actually That's going to be one of the only reasons I really want to watch AEW next week.
What, they're wrestling each other?
Yeah, they're wrestling each other
in the first round of the Owen Hart tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the best thing about. Like, and here's a good thing, and us as wrestling fans, we know. But one of the best things about watching tag teams is when they do get to wrestle each other.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially when you don't or haven't seen it. I personally feel like a lot of the times, majority of the time, it's like a tag team champion. They're tag team champions going into the match. But I feel like one of the best examples, and not that they were a full tag team, but they were tag team champions together, is Cena and Shawn Michaels. When they fought at WrestleMania, they were tag champs. Now, granted, they would have put on a great match anyway, but the fact that they were tag champions coming into the match made it even more special. So I think, FTR being I don't want to be disrespectful to other tag teams when I say a true tag team, but they are
a solid. Let's just say they're a solid team.
AK also Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 21. They were tag champs going into that.
Yep. There was another one. Batista and Cena went into a match when they were tag champs together, I thought.
No.
Batista and somebody. I know that for damn sure. Eddie?
Batista and Ray?
It might have been Ray. But it could have been Ray. Because they lost the title. When they lost the titles, that's when Batista turned. But no, that match is going to be something special, honestly.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, the old school tag team. I don't fault you for saying true tag team. They don't need high spots to get over. They don't need crazy leaping ability and all this other extra stuff. They're just a thoroughbred old school tag team. Kick your ass and keep it moving. That's how they work. And that's cool. We dig it. And there's a reason why they've been on top of their game since they left WWE.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go back if I was them.
I got a
wouldn't
question.
go back. I don't think I'll go back. I'm thinking of having too much
Did
fun.
y'all talk about Forbidden Door already?
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought it up a little bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can chime in on it.
Y'all aren't excited?
I'm excited.
I am. Andrew's not.
The name is fucking horrible.
I mean, it could be worse.
I think
Could be Great Balls of Fire.
AEW and New Japan presents You Still Got It in Chicago, where CM Punk
Well,
is.
we said You Still Got It will be the name of the sequel for the video game.
Like it could
I
be.
still think they to me personally, I think they should have just combined both names and just called it like New Japan Elite Wrestling or some shit.
No, that'd be too much because that sounds like you're combining the company, and that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
It also wouldn't have looked right. It also wouldn't have looked right on paper because it would have said "NU."
You know what? If Vince did this deal with New Japan, you know what the name of the pay-per-view would have been? I Want to Be Ninja.
Nah, man. The
sequel to Supercard.
The sequel of the game would be You Still Got It, but it would be the same engine that they ran the first game on.
Yep.
Oh man, Kyle, if you haven't seen the "I Want to Be Ninja" video yet, go watch that shit, please.
Wait, which one?
I'll send it to you.
All right, got you.
It's so racist.
See, my thing is,
I know as a black man in America, I shouldn't laugh at that, but
like, look, I want to tell you the one thing I said was business wise, this is not going to be like the Impact deal. New Japan is too big and too well known to be getting pushed over like that. They're not going to do that. You're not going to bend them over and be like, "Here, take it."
Yeah,
so
I mean, the funny thing is, the most interesting thing when you watch these crossovers, because we know we're going to get an AEW New Japan crossover. It might not be every match. It could be. But the most interesting, the most interesting thing is how people get over. Like, let's be honest, if Okada is in the ring with somebody other than Bryan Danielson, other than maybe a Hangman Page, only because he's the champ, other than trying to think of somebody who's like out of this world.
Moxley.
You know, Moxley's gonna have a match.
To be honest, like Okada, I don't see Okada losing. Not unless it's for a title, or not unless it's a talent. I don't see him losing.
I think you're just going to see
somebody
tremendous
like But
You make a good
Naito
point.
can put on back somebody and lose. Tanahashi, because Mox and Tanahashi still got that program going on. So I can definitely see Tanahashi putting Mox over. You can have tag champs versus tag champs. Like there's about this. And if they put Stardom involved, I'm gonna be a little nervous for the AEW women. Not all of them, some of them.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to hold a candle to what the ladies in Stardom do. So if they are involved, that's going to be another very, very interesting situation.
Well, Thunder Rosa can hang.
Do we know if Kushida has a 90-day non-compete?
Yeah, Kushida left, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no. His contract expired.
Oh, so he good to go.
He's already on his way back to New Japan.
Hey, we can probably see a really cool match with Kushida on that card because I know he's going back to New Japan, you know, and rightfully so. You know, so there's so many options. Like Chris said, we're gonna get some fun matches out of this. Some matchups you don't see every day, which is cool, and I'm gonna take it for what it is. Like I said, it can't hurt them. I just want to see New Japan. I'm a sucker for Japanese wrestling, and I want to see it. I don't got time to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to watch all these wrestling events. I don't got time. Okay, I want to see you. All right, come to America. We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be a good time. Mark trying to go. Mark saying when tickets go on sale. He's trying to pull up. Look, so it's gonna be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Me and Chris witnessed it. We know that I was shocked that New York knew that many Japanese theme songs.
Yeah.
But they sold out Madison Square Garden, and
they did.
They were singing to the top of their lungs. It was really cool to see. Like I said, I didn't go there for Ring of Honor. I went there for New Japan. That's what I was really there for.
Rod, remember too, like outside of the WWE, New Japan is essentially the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
So you're right. I don't think this can hurt anyone, to be honest. I don't think there would. I mean, fans are going to have an issue with everything. That's we already know that. But I don't see anybody getting squashed or any match being like a 3-minute, 5-minute match, unless it calls for it, of course.
I'll tell you right now. This is my favorite announcement he's made yet.
The one match everybody needs to see. It might just happen. G2S versus GTS might go down.
Do we get the geriatric version of the Great Muta and Sting?
Oh, come on.
Do we get that full circle 32 years later?
Come on, Chris.
I'm just saying.
I mean, listen, Chris, it could be worse.
We
could see Ric Flair.
You talk about getting the casual fan.
That's on the table.
Wait a minute, Chris.
Listen, I think that's on the table, Great Muta and Sting.
You talk about getting the casual fan back. That's what. There you go right there.
I think there's a chance we see that.
Chris Porter, he's marking it down right now. Great Muta taking on Sting. Max, you book it. You can book it. My Chris said you can book it. It's happening.
I'm serious. I think
and the crowd will eat it up. They'll eat it up. And it's one of those things you don't get to see every day. And that's the cool thing about this kind of partnership. It's not like they're partnering with somebody we know, or we know them, but we don't get to see them all the time. So when we get the chance to see them, it's like, wow, man, it's like that cousin that comes over that's mad cool or for the holidays. On to next Christmas.
Now, Rodney, I just want to mention one thing. When you were talking about Supercard, G1 and a lot of people knowing the songs, we also have to remember WrestleMania weekend is a lot of travelers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it wasn't all New Yorkers.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Also,
but I saw a lot of people that walking in, being around, waiting online, and you can tell a New Yorker from a mile away. Just listen to them talk, and it's like, wow, man. Well, what are you here to see? I'm here to see this. I'm here to see that. It was crazy in there. It was crazy.
Yeah, they were knowledgeable.
Did you say The Great Muta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Great Muta.
I will. Sorry to bust your bubble. He works for Pro Wrestling Noah, not New Japan.
Listen. I wasn't looking forward to it. I just said, "Are we going to see it?"
No, you won't see it.
You're not bursting my bubble.
Where he worked.
What about Sting versus Murder Grandpa?
It was Murder Grandpa.
Minoru Suzuki.
You'd see Suzuki would have to go over. That would be Sting.
I don't know, man. Him and Joe slapping the shit out of each other was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, that was crazy. They could have just did that shit the whole fucking match, and I would have been fine with it.
Yep. We would have been 2 of 6 because everybody else would be like, "Where's the other moves?"
Joe was looking like a fucking Christmas ham, bro. Like,
yeah, you're glistening,
bro.
Christmas ham.
I think I will say this about ROH though, and the guys were saying the same thing. Like, I don't have a huge issue. Like, it's not even an issue, but I think it's interesting that everybody who holds titles in ROH are signed to AEW already.
Yes.
Like we know Yuta has the pure title. FTR has the ROH titles, but we know why they have the tag titles because Briscoes weren't going to be signed for whatever reason. Actually, no, I know. But who else? Grisham just officially signed.
And didn't he just get hurt?
And then you had Titus lose to Suzuki. For Suzuki to lose to Joe, and Joe just signed both. So, like, I'm not necessarily upset. Don't get me wrong. I just think by the time, that was Supercard of Honor, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't think. I think they could have handled that a little better instead of just having all the titles on essentially AEW talent outside of.
Because
which is exactly what Rodney, Andrew, and I texted each other afterwards. He said, "Why did you just put everything on AEW?"
Because
you pretty much just slapped all your former Ring of Honor people.
I think maybe it's for the exposure, so they say, "Oh, look at these guys! They have Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships."
Well, now but then we also said now there's too many belts in AEW.
Which Mike, I was going to that point. I said this on Monday because I thought about it, and I said, "Well, if I'm starting a new company, it's not new. It's a rebrand. It's like a rebirthing of a company. I want people to hop on board and let people know we're back." I have a company up and going already. I need to get the eyes back.
You know what? How you do it?
Perfect way to do it.
The perfect way to do it is, like I told you, Rodney, last night. Get rid of AEW Dark. Get rid of Elevation. Fucking tape an episode of Ring of Honor before Dynamite, so you can get eyes on it, and then let it happen from there.
So and then I was literally Fridays. Just talking about this.
No, Ring of Honor doesn't take over Fridays. You just have.
What's funny is, speaking of Dark, how about the whole book?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think they should get rid of one of them. Keep one of the shows, like the Darker Elevation, because that still showcases the talent that doesn't get on these main cards. So
yeah, I agree,
and that's the best thing. It being on YouTube, that helps so much. Like, all honesty, I wouldn't even mind them putting ROH on YouTube, and then their pay-per-view will be just on pay-per-view. You know what I mean? But
YouTube gets a lot of traction.
To keep at least one.
Wait, so how many belts are we talking about AEW has now?
30.
They have
500.
They have the FTR has both. FTR has both AAA and
ROH
and
no,
ROH
AAA doesn't count.
Yeah, we're not count. Don't count AAA. Just AEW and
you
ROH.
Can't count AAA.
AEW World Championship, FTW title,
that's 2.
TNT title, TBS title, AEW Women's Championship.
And the tag team
titles. That's 6 belts.
All right, so how many does WWE have?
No, but that's just 6 AEW. He's not even counting
I'm not
ROH
even
belts.
Yeah, you're not even counting ROH.
So then ROH has
ROH
the
has
TV
that
title.
piece.
You have the
Tag titles.
tag titles. You have
The heavyweight title.
the heavyweight championship. You have
The TV
Or-
title.
yeah.
He
said
said
the
the TV title.
They have like
Pure
now
title.
there's like
the pure
10
title has
belts.
5.
But those are ROH
The
belts.
pure and the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, but AEW people are holding it, is what we're saying.
Everybody.
All right, but again, how many belts does WWE have, and how many belts did they have back in the day when they had the European belt,
No,
the light
but-
heavyweight belt? We've seen this before.
But
It's not the first time we've seen them have a lot of belts. I mean, WWE had a lot of belts.
WWE has 8 belts. NXT has 4.
If you go by the both shows, they got a ton of belts. So let's be fair to it.
But the fact
Do we
that
need? You know my argument. Do we need a SmackDown Women's Champion and a fucking Raw Women's Champion?
no,
No.
that's why I'm saying that
Do-
it comes time to when the tag team championships are being unified. That's when the next championship that needs to be unified is the women's championships.
Yeah, but I'm sorry,
And then-
Andrew. According to reports,
It's
Roman Reigns will be defending each belt separately.
Reports, but we'll find out when.
It's just so dumb because I can't.
Hey,
Which is
guys,
why would you call them unified? Why would you say
service-
unified?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Real quick, my service is bugging right now,
All right.
Okay.
so I'm gonna jump off. If I don't, I think by the time I get home, y'all will be done. So, number one, thank you for always inviting me. I'll try to jump on sometime soon because I got a couple things I want to talk to everybody about.
Okay.
We actually aren't doing an episode of the Four Corners tonight, so we're gonna come back next week.
Cool.
Also, just for a heads up, a little sneaky peeky of not me, but of some talent, of some things coming up. I am going to soon start something similar to Battle of the Brands on WWE 2K22. And Stretch and I are going to be working on some commentary stuff.
Ooh.
Excellent. Oh, man,
So just be on the lookout for those for sure. And please, everybody who's watching, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting BTB. But you can find the podcast on youtube.com/Council Commentary, or on Spotify and Apple Music and all of that other stuff. You can find me at Mr. Marvel 87, and my Twitch is at Mr. Marvel _87. But I had to plug real quick before I bounce. But gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Love you guys. Drew, Rod, great seeing y'all yesterday. And I will hit y'all up later.
all right, man.
Absolutely, bro.
See you, bro.
Appreciate having K Marvel come in on the check-in. Got some cool stuff coming up.
Okay.
There, man. Nothing like good commentary. But James would like to know: do you guys think anyone's going to show up like Cesaro?
I found out his ring name is going to be
What?
it's Claudio, and then it's CZRO. Like
Claudio CZRO?
Yes.
But what's funny about the whole thing with Roman is, then why'd you say it's a unification match if you're actually not
My
just
point.
just do the winner take all?
My point exactly, Mike.
Winner take all, yeah.
It's you.
You already had a winner take all at WrestleMania with the women's titles, and look, you didn't call them unified. You knew they were being separated.
I hate when we do business deals with two major networks. Fox wants a little bit of this, NBC, Universal wants a little bit of that. Look, it's too much going on, and your roster cannot support what these contracts are asking. You got to understand this, and you got to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate.
But if he's your only guy, then drop the fucking Universal title and just call it the. If he's obviously the only guy they want with a belt, right, with their main title, get rid of the Universal thing and just go with the WWE title.
Well, according to what I'm hearing, is Cody's going to go after just the WWE title and the Universal title. He's going to hold on to. Roman's going to hold on to until next year WrestleMania.
Oh God, Lord have mercy. Just bury.
Yeah, that's a long stretch.
I never want to hear no one tell me ever again that Triple H had the golden shovel. I never want to hear it ever again. I never, ever want to hear it ever again. If this man carries that Universal Championship for a whole nother year,
he doesn't need to carry it a whole nother year.
I'm telling you right now, I never want to hear that ever again.
And then nobody should get a fucking long ass title reign ever again, like this. This is the one and only person that gets a fucking title reign like this.
But this is what happens when you don't trust no one. You got to start trusting your talent. Okay, it's not that you don't have the talent. It's not like they're not main event material. You just don't trust them to try to be main event material. You're not putting them in spots to be main eventers. There's no reason why Finn Balor should be playing hot potato with the United States Championship.
Or nor should have been putting over Austin Theory.
Why couldn't we get Reggie to win the title and Austin Theory beats the hell out of Reggie? There we go, bang. U.S. champ. Why did we have to go over on Finn Balor? Now what's Finn going to do?
Balor needs to be released.
I'm at this point,
free the Prince.
I think number one, if anything, if they could take the belt off of Roman somehow, let Finn Balor win the Universal Championship and let him hold that belt for a while, little bit, and not whole year. Roman needs to drop it before
They're never going to give it to Finn Balor. What about Randy Orton? He's doing his best shit right now.
Like I said the other day, that Orton said he got asked that question during the Out of Character on Ryan Satin show during WrestleMania weekend, and he was asked about if he would want another WWE championship or any world championship. He said, if it's given to me, I'll take it. If not, okay, I'm having the best time of my life right now with Riddle and everything. But also, the WWE backed themselves into a fucking corner. That's what I'll say with Roman Reigns. This whole Roman Reigns situation.
Orton's promo the other night was awesome.
Yes,
it was.
When he called those two assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I respect your family.
I love your father.
He goes,
you two are assholes.
He goes, it looks like the big dog left the two bitches off the leash. So let me get this straight.
Yeah, that was great.
Yo, and then he goes, well, this is my show, not your show. My
let me
show.
remind you who the hell I am. It was so good. And they're selling WrestleMania Backlash to me. That match alone is selling me on it's not nothing else is selling me. That right there alone. You have made it such a point with the beef between them. I wouldn't mind if they main evented. I wouldn't mind at all. I wouldn't mind at all if they close the show with RK Bro.
Okay.
In the
and according to reports that
unfortunately Roman Reigns is main eventing.
Of course. But I wouldn't mind if
which is weird because they said he was going to take this pay-per-view off.
Would you mind if you got the tag team title match?
No, you're building it perfectly.
Yes, this is the best thing you got going. Come on.
So Christopher Brown made a very good point. He said, no, Rodney, Vince's issues with the talent is, let's say he gives Drew the rub from Roman down the line and Drew becomes the next hot thing in wrestling. What's to prevent him from following Dwayne and Cena's footsteps to Hollywood, taking the belt with him? Know what I mean?
But it hasn't been done where everyone just takes the belt with them. That's the thing. It's always I don't know why he has this sick fear in his mind that people are just going to run away with the title. Dude, you give out titles to every championship team that wins something. Dude, what are you worried about? Stop being worried that somebody's going to take the belt. It never happened. The only time you were truly worried about it was when you screwed Brett. That's the only time you truly
or Alundra Blaze.
Listen,
but nobody cared about that women's division.
But what I'm saying is that was someone stealing the title.
She ran over there and threw it in the garbage. So you have PTSD for her throwing your belt in the garbage. No one cared about the WWF women's division back then. When you had Bertha Faye and Alundra Blaze, that's it.
But I'm telling you right now, Roman Reigns will go to Hollywood.
He will, but that
So-
doesn't mean that he's gonna take the title with him.
He will go to Hollywood. He's not long for this wrestling world. And
Hell no.
if you continue to put all your eggs in his basket, Drew McIntyre ain't going to Hollywood. He ain't setting Hollywood on Bliss.
No,
Bliss.
hell no. I would never ever.
No.
But
He
also,
might do
Roman
Hell's
Reigns is
House
go.
shows.
So
I was
you
going to
know,
mention
He's
this last week.
Jason Momoa.
I was going to mention this last week, but we got into celebrity crushes. But a couple episodes ago,
Which is a conversation we still have to finish.
On Young Rock, they had Roman Reigns' appearance, not like him. It was like little kid Roman at the time, and he was putting The Rock in the headlock and said, "One day it's gonna be me versus you," and he goes, "Yeah, that day that when that day comes, it has to happen WrestleMania." So they're foreshadowing that the match next year is going to be Rock versus Roman at Mania, basically.
that one doesn't even need a belt.
So
No, it doesn't need the belt. That's why.
That's why I need him to take
This
it
is
off.
why you could have set up. You could set up the match perfectly by having The Rock screw him of the title.
That's
Yes.
all you. How about this? And it won't happen until like Royal Rumble. This is the part that sucks. We're so far away. Like
Yeah.
you can long game this.
Yo,
You
they
really
should.
can, but they won't. They won't do
Yeah.
it.
No, the one thing, if you honestly wanted to do it, they said somebody. I think Christopher Brown said we're gonna might get Cena and Roman again at SummerSlam this year. Why not do that at SummerSlam? Biggest night in Nashville, Tennessee. Fucking have Cena somehow win the championship because of The Rock's help. It's like you're the head of the table.
No, you can't do that.
Nah, because we
You
see
can't keep giving these guys the fucking. You got to get someone new, or you have a Seth Rollins there. You have a Randy Orton. You can't keep going back to the well of
Unless-
2005.
unless the Money in the Bank winner cashes in on that particular night. That's the only way it's gonna work. You can't if you're gonna go give me an old guy and not go after one of your young guns who's up here coming making a name for themselves.
But we already think Cody's winning the Money in the Bank. He's going to go after the WWE title. That still leaves the Universal
And
title.
also,
Yeah, like so this is why
this is no. But here's the thing: if they stay unified and for God-forsaken reason, but also Cody Rhodes, guess what he teased?
Yes, he teased the wing.
white strap.
The winged eagle.
The winged eagle.
I also heard rumors about the white strap belt again.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I just know about the winged eagle.
But if Roman Reigns holds the Universal title, you know his cousin, The Rock, who's not a full-time wrestler, is going to do the job for him at WrestleMania. So Roman Reigns is going to continue to be the champion past WrestleMania.
That's
There's no
why
way
The Rock
is taking that belt.
That's why The Rock needs to cost him the title, which causes the match to happen.
but it won't happen until like Royal Rumble. It's not going to happen as soon as we want it to, because then we know that they're not going to long build this. They should have this drag out, and they should have the back and forth go on Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you have Ronnie? Do you have The Rock show up at SummerSlam? Act like he's going to turn on Roman, but help Roman at first.
Then after the match, have a rock bottom.
No. I'm saying then have The Rock like he's supporting him throughout the year, and then turn on him at the Royal Rumble.
Or your next show at a big city like a Brooklyn or something like that, or SmackDown, have Rock show up, have him knock on the head of the table, have that altercation where it can be anything.
Yeah.
And you're planting the seed. Just keep planting the seed.
Exactly.
If you're gonna go this route, plant the seed now. Don't wait until the Royal Rumble. Now we gotta rush it.
I mean, here's what sucks. Here's what sucks is Roman's been planting the seeds by doing the rock bottom and stuff like that, but we haven't seen the other side. And those seeds have been planted so long ago that people probably don't even remember them.
But the Young Rock thing really planted the seed for everybody. It was like, oh, it's happening. It's happening. So it's the fans want it. They want it desperately, and it's the only way. I think it's the only way you can end it. Just just the only way. There's just no other way. No other place to go.
Because
it's a tough character to play and have him run through everybody. Who stops him? If Rock also, Chris makes a good point. The Rock ain't gonna lay down and take the L. I mean, the Rock's gonna lay down and take the L. He's not gonna go over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's not hanging around after that.
When's the end point? When is this over?
But then again, Ronnie, we thought Rock wasn't gonna take the L to Cena in the first match.
Well, yeah, that kind of caught me by surprise.
But this is way past that. The Rock, he's Hollywood. He's not going to hang around and do a run as a wrestler at 50 years old.
But I'm saying that's why the title has to be dropped beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't need the title.
Yeah. So, quick hot take. So, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there is a rumor going around that they want Stone Cold to basically fill in the role as like Undertaker and be the big guy at all the stadium shows, like Undertaker was.
Like, so doing one match a year?
Yeah, like do the one-offs like Undertaker was at all the stadium shows.
Austin actually has stated he is done.
Please don't let that be a thing. I saw Ric Flair rolling around.
Andrew's internet went out again.
I saw Ric Flair rolling around.
Again, you have to get young people.
Like, what's wrong with the young talent you got getting called up? What's wrong with it? I don't understand.
What's wrong with it is that they get called up.
He did it with Cena.
What's wrong with it is that they get called up, they get a fucking name change, and then they get buried.
But why does it have to be that way?
Because Vince doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore, bro.
I understand that we keep looking at the whole thing as, hey, maybe it's the guy's not getting over. Hey, maybe it's them not. I can't keep blaming the wrestler. Okay, it's got to be something internal in this company that you are doing. And Runjan, no, I don't think it's going to be a one and done.
I think it's creative more than Vince. It's Vince, but it's creative.
Yeah,
creative to get the hell out of that.
It's creative, and it's creative, and us. I will say, us fans.
I've always said
because
if the fans don't help you get over, you ain't getting over.
It's like when you go to NXT, like, hey, Tommaso Ciampa should be getting over. We knew him in NXT. Help him get over. We knew Killer Cross or Karrion Kross. We should have helped him get over.
No, you can't. They put him in a fucking hockey mask.
I know.
That was on them. They're not putting these dudes in spots to get over. That's on them. It's not the fans.
It is us. It's mostly
us. Not, dude. He had a fucking ridiculous gimmick when he came up.
That part is creative, but when I say the fans, for me, it's when we call for a guy to win a title. The guy wins the title, and then the next week we're booing him. Why?
That's fine. If that's a natural reaction, then flip him to a heel. You have to be able to read the room and flip on the fly.
That's a
like
part
I hate to throw him under the bus, but Kenny wanted Drew to win the title, and actually even you, Andrew, you wanted Drew to win the title. The second he won the title, both of you turned on him.
No, like 3 months after he won the title, I started turning on him because I thought his run was stale.
Why can't Kevin Owens have a title run?
I would like to see him get another title run.
I would love to see Kevin Owens
how
have
many
a title
years?
run.
There was a meme. There was a thing talking about how was it been 5 years for him?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
since Fastlane of
2017, right?
18.
He needs a title run.
So about 5 years.
2017. 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since Kevin Owens held the Universal Championship because of the whole Goldberg bullshit.
Christopher Brown says, have Dwayne win the title at Mania and have him give the belt on WrestleMania SmackDown to Pierce for him to announce a tournament for the belt sans Roman. His ass goes back to the back of the line after losing to Dwayne.
He's never going to go back to the end of the line.
He'll be always there. It's like the
He's
John
always
Cena
there.
effect.
He's never going. You're never getting rid of Roman Reigns until he goes to Hollywood. That's it.
Who's next in line?
Give him a run of almost 3 years.
But here's my thing is, who says that Roman's going to make it in Hollywood? The only time we ever saw him in a movie was damn fucking Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Wait, hold on. The Raw Missy.
He was in the Raw Missy?
Yes, he was. He was at the bar. That's
Okay.
who David Spade had to beef with.
Okay.
It doesn't mean he won't go, Andrew.
I know, but who knows if he will make it in
Hey,
Hollywood?
did anyone ever think Batista would really make it? And
No.
look,
Exactly.
exactly.
No.
Because he got the right role.
But again, you
Roman's
have,
gonna get these Jason Momoa.
you have to have contingency plans. You cannot just have Roman Reigns as your top dog
The
for
Rock
50 years.
wasn't. Let's be real here. The Rock wasn't a big Hollywood hit once he got there either.
No,
Yeah, come on.
Scorpion King wasn't that
He had
big.
to pay. He had to.
There
pay
was
his dues
growing
a little
pains.
bit. Yeah, he had to do the game plan in the Tooth Fairy. You know,
Tooth Fairy.
Then it was walking tall and he had to do some things before he got that big money. Then when he got that big money, he Journey to the Center of the Earth and all these stupid ass movies he
Tooth
did.
Fairy.
But you know what? It paid off. Highest paid actor in the world.
But they got to figure out a plan. It needs to happen very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because they
don't
said
look like it's gonna.
Space Mountain. He was in Space Mountain.
What was the Space Mountain?
Rock.
Oh.
Rodney, did you see your girl Dana Brooke in the wedding dress on Monday night?
Look, me and Dan are gonna have to have a conversation. I'm gonna have to let
She
her
didn't
go.
look nearly as good as Penelope Ford in the wedding dress. Just saying.
But did you see apparently the whole wedding, the whole thing she said the whole honeymoon by herself in the 24/7 championship? No Reggie in sight.
Now,
nope.
Did you guys see the comments on Facebook that R-Truth should be actually made as a minister and they should WWE should promote him and like rent him out?
I think
if I could get R-Truth
get married by R-Truth.
Yo, that'd be sick. Yo, I come with holy matrimony. Wait, my bad.
He was funny doing it, I will say.
I need R-Truth on commentary.
Yeah.
I need R-Truth on commentary. Because the man, I don't think people give R-Truth enough credit. Yes, he takes every goofy possible role that Vince will toss his way. But he does it better than anybody else I've ever seen it
he
do.
Does. No, he takes what he gets.
And nobody does it better.
Pair him up with Pat and Michael Cole on SmackDown?
Speaking of McAfee, did you hear he might be taking that Thursday Night Football job on
Amazon?
Amazon
on video. But the times R-Truth, man, that time with Brock Lesnar, when he was going to announce himself for the Royal Rumble because he was going to throw Paul Heyman over the top rope, and Brock Lesnar made him laugh.
Brock was crawling.
I said this.
Brock stated he loved it. He talked about it afterwards. He's like, I loved it. That was freaking awesome.
He will love. He said, I love working with him.
Mm-hmm.
The whole commitment ceremony made me want to fucking vomit.
And by the way,
Christopher Brown doesn't like love or made up love.
Tamina, do you know how to kiss somebody? I felt so bad for Tozawa. I was like, that's the worst kiss ever.
Yo,
but he could have gotten a little love and he got nothing.
It was also pretty cool to see the Riddle Team Bad reunion on that
was pretty cool.
On the in the ring.
Tamina said what she said.
Yeah, what she said.
Tozawa was like, same.
Same.
I'm just surprised there was no cake involved.
That's good. It was good.
Not like a good wedding on wrestling, man. I'll tell y'all. By far, one of the worst weddings I've ever seen in pro wrestling. This ceremony over here, but I've seen some good ones, man. I'll tell you.
I thought that
you guys know me. I'm a sucker for a wrestling wedding.
The Rusev wedding was pretty bad.
No, there was not really a wedding. It was just a ceremony. It was like a celebration. And then freaking Lana goes in the freaking face first in the cage.
Lana want to have an affair with Liv Morgan.
That was the lesbian.
Like redoing their vows or some shit.
It was the Bobby Lashley thing.
Oh yeah, the Bobby Lashley. That was fucking terrible.
And then Liv Morgan coming out as bisexual, basically, stopping the wedding.
That was wild.
That didn't last long.
That was pretty crazy.
Last long at all. She came up the Hillary Clinton suit on. It was crazy. Yeah, like it was nuts.
Kamala Harris pantsuit.
The Kamala Harris pantsuit. It was wild. It was wild times we were living in back then.
Chess Kaufman said, like I said last time, the 24/7 belt needs to go. It has no meaning. I said they should have made it They should have just made the hardcore belt. It's insulting. It was almost as bad as seeing Graves and Carmella pulling each other a few weeks ago.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
See, the
I'm
thing
over
is,
it.
Andrew, the reason why they didn't want to make it the hardcore is because in this day and age they can't.
Nope.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it PG, man.
Damn
People have
PCL.
feelings. They get triggered by a hardcore match.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Gotta
boys.
keep it PG.
I'm going to check out.
Already.
All right, Chris.
All right. I'll see you Monday. You guys have a good
I
weekend.
should be checking in Monday,
You too,
hopefully.
All right,
You
cool.
too.
Mike, Rodney's house, barbecue.
Yes.
That's all I'm going for.
Be there. All right. I'll see you
Later.
later.
Just Coleman was one of my favorite ones with Stephanie and Tess.
But yeah, getting back into
Yeah.
back into what I was saying about the whole PG thing. I
Mine was
believe,
Billy and
if I'm
Chuck.
not mistaken, wasn't it? Didn't during Orton's promo? Didn't he when the I forgot the Usos? I think they said something, and then Orton was like, "That's not PG,"
Mhm.
some shit like that.
Nah, I love when R-Truth said, I don't even know if that's PG.
Oh no, yeah, okay, it was R-Truth. Yeah, it was R-Truth.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Nah, see, he is one of the most classic. He reminds me so much of Norman Smiley. Just with he talks. Norman really didn't talk that much. Norman was just a character in the ring. It was so good, but he's such a mix of Norman Smiley that can speak. And R-Truth's no slouch in the ring. He can wrestle, man.
Yes.
Pretty damn good. And
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
And they don't realize his age. He's old. Like he's an older guy. He keeps himself in great shape. He's older.
Remember, he was in the original. He's in the original TNA.
Yep, the first African American NWA champion.
He is 50 years old, man.
Nobody gives that man credit for that, but man won NWA.
He don't look
title.
50.
Damn sure don't look 50. Yeah, nowhere close to 50.
The Big Wiggy.
Yeah.
Macho and Liz.
Macho and Liz was good.
Oh, by the way, just 6 years ago today, we lost China.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I remember where I was, man. I was waiting for class to start in Nassau. I was sitting on the bench, and I saw it pop up on Twitter. I was like, get out of here.
I just saw my Facebook memory of that because I posted.
The Big Wig.
But there's like so many things wrong with WWE right now.
Yeah,
I think in general there's so many things wrong with wrestling. I'm not even gonna say just WWE because there's a lot of shit wrong with AEW too.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck do we need 5 AEW shows?
I don't know.
Why do we need 5 AEW shows? Why do we have Dynamite? We have 2 fucking Darks. We have Rampage, and now we have ROH.
I want to say that ROH should be a separate entity, but it's not because it's going to be.
Here's the funny part: is Tony is presenting it as a separate entity, yet all his champions are AEW signed stars.
It's very weird.
Separate entity.
I'm still here, but you won't say it.
But yeah. I don't feel like there's need for 5 different shows. I really don't.
Me neither. I think AEW Dark and Elevation should be one separate show.
That shit shouldn't even exist anymore. Nobody watches it. They don't have much of a fan base.
And that's why I'm saying the whole thing with Booker T is interesting.
And not to mention, it's not even like you're showcasing new talent like they were supposed to on AEW Dark. They're showcasing recycled talent.
It's like WWE's main event.
Okay, ready? Here's AEW Dark, episode 59. 3 days ago, they're at 311,000 views on YouTube. 2 days ago, AEW Dark episode, 336 views 2 days ago. They should, if they have a big ass following, and their YouTube channel has 3.2 million subscribers. Every video should be 3.2 million views, but they're not going to get that because They're not.
Okay, here's the question: why don't they ever get
1 million views on
over 1 million views and constantly on Dynamite?
Because
you're at this point, you're like I said, they're not showcasing new talent like they should. They're showcasing recycled fucking talent. You have people that were look at Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose was a friggin' champion, and she was being showcased on Dark for the longest. When after her injury, after she came back, she was on nothing but Dark matches.
And we can talk about the Ruby Soho situation.
Yo,
She's just working her way back up to the main
days.
roster.
113 days before she was back on TV.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna agree with what Christopher Brown just said. He said, "Mark, Rampage is on its way out. I think I see ROH taking Rampage's place on Friday nights." I would absolutely fucking love that.
I would love to see ROH be like a live show, not being taped after a AEW. Have your dark match after an AEW, because literally you're getting there. The doors open 6:30. You get there at 7:00. They start taping episodes for AEW Dark, and then you have your AEW Dynamite, and then an hour of Rampage after.
Give me 2 hours of ROH right before SmackDown starts. Give me from 6 to 8. That would be ideal.
You could tape an hour of ROH before the AEW Dynamite, and then tape an hour
and do an hour
ROH,
live.
And then boom, you're fine. And then everything else, you don't need to. That's why I'm saying AEW Dark should be replaced with ROH, so you can actually watch some actually great wrestling. And I said this to Ronnie. The first person I see Cody Rhodes convincing to WWE sign if he ever leaves AEW is QT Marshall. And guess what? Everybody that works out in the Nightmare Factory, guess where they might go? Follow Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall, because they're trainers in the Nightmare Factory. So that's where you're going to get more NXT 2.0 people.
Well, Christopher, he had mentioned that Ring of Honor was going to be their development, so it would be their NXT.
But that is a disgrace in a way, because Ring of Honor should never be developmental.
Exactly.
It should
That's why him buying, if that's the way they go, then I'm sorry, he's not the right person to purchase that company.
It should have been somebody.
ROH.
It should have been somebody, or they should have. I'm sorry, Ring of Honor. I loved you so much. That company should have. If it was gonna die, it should have died after they said, "Oh, after come January before the new year, we're gonna release our superstars," and then not even announce that they're coming back to Supercard of Honor in April. They should have let it just sit and die in the water.
Yeah.
And then literally, if somebody wanted to pick it up and buy, the biggest thing out of the Ring of Honor purchase by Tony Khan is that video library. Nothing else.
Exactly.
But and don't get me wrong, Drew. I partially agree with what you said before about them killing off Dark and Dark Elevation and bringing ROH up, but they can't do it on YouTube. It's got to be on live TV. If your goal was to buy out ROH and bring it back and make it this legendary brand that it's always been, then it's got to be on live TV.
Yes, it got to be on a Friday on TNT or.
Absolutely, like I said, give me that 6 to 8. Give me right before SmackDown. That's gonna. You give me, dude, 6 to 8, and then 8 to 10 for SmackDown. That's 4 hours of wrestling every Friday night that I'm getting at an ideal time.
Yes,
and I'm gonna read some of the comments that when I was arguing with the guy about the Ring of Honor thing. He says, "Ring of Honor is getting better. Just got to give it time." I said, "Getting better." He's like, "Did you not like Supercard of Honor?" I'm like, "One show doesn't equal getting better. All the AEW signed people won." So then he says, "One show means it's getting better. That show was better than anything before TK bought it." Have you never watched a Ring of Honor show ever? You're saying that's better than any? Stop.
That's clearly coming from somebody that's never watched any type of Ring of Honor show before.
Then he says most of Ring of Honor wrestlers are signed with AEW. Also, that's what happens when you buy the company. I said, no, wait, where is it? Then I said this. I said pretty much, I'm like, that's what do you mean when they buy the company? When they bought the company, They bought a company that had no wrestlers. They bought the name.
They bought a company. They bought a company where they took 90% of their talent from them prior to buying the fucking company.
Exactly.
And now they're literally just filtering their talent back into that company. Like,
it's like literally
it's going to be a never-ending cycle, and that's where the whole this becoming their developmental brand comes in, because now you're literally just filtering them back their old talent.
Yep. And literally, if you really, really, really want to try to make Ring of Honor great again, you got to make new stars and sign them to ROH, not to AEW in a way. You got to sign a bunch of stars that say somebody is ROH bound and not have them signed to AEW.
Like Andrew, if you were getting Samoa Joe back, he should have signed strictly to Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Strictly to Ring of Honor, not AEW.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going to bring Samoa Joe back and then boom, right off the bat, make him an ROH champion.
Who signed to AEW?
Who signed to AEW?
And Christian Brown says, and Mike, I read this morning, there's a possibility of Punk and Danielson making appearances for ROH. But if they're signed to AEW, not to ROH, so it's like, oh, you're kind of breaking that so-called forbidden door to go down to a company that...
Oh, and the shit that pissed me off as far as what they're talking about with this whole, like, you know, working with New Japan, you literally took Minoru Suzuki, one of the biggest known names in New Japan. You brought him into ROH for a fucking one-off against Samoa Joe, who is signed, and not to mention, you made him the ROH champion, okay? And then you brought him into AEW for a one-off against Samoa Joe just to lose.
Yep.
To make Samoa Joe the ROH champion, who is all elite and signed to AEW.
So that's where I'm saying this whole forbidden door shit. It's not. I don't think it's going to work out as the way that people are going to think it's going to work out. There are going to be backstage egos in there, and they're going to be like, I don't want to take a loss to this person. Like Okada's definitely not losing. I don't see any of Bullet Club really losing a match in at that thing. If anything, Ronnie said that Tangaloa and Tama Tonga should kind of get the revenge at that show against every Bullet Club member. And I said this, if you really, really, really wanted to do something, have Tama Tonga talk to Vince or something and have Finn Balor or AJ Styles be able to do something in a way. But they're not going to do it. They're going to book a show like Super Front of Honor, and people are going to want longer matches, and they're going to have matches cut during that fucking show, and people are going to be pissed. Like, wrestlers want to showcase themselves. Meanwhile, they're going to have a certain time spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, boy. I don't know, man. Like I said, wrestling's all over the place.
Yeah. We got Impact Rebellion this Saturday. Impact right now is doing great, I will say. I've been watching a lot of shit.
I started getting into Impact.
I wish I read the article beforehand, but Josh Alexander gave a reason in an article of why he re-signed with Impact instead of going to AEW. I don't know if you read it, Andrew.
There's just and you guys might disagree with me on. I've told Rodney I've tried multiple times to try to get into Impact, and what he's seeing, I'm not seeing. Rodney loves Impact. He's got so much love for Impact, but what he's seeing, I just don't see it. It doesn't attract my eye.
To me, Andrew and Rodney, Impact was the best throughout the pandemic.
Yes.
But to me personally, you know, the only reason I really fuck with AEW is because I've been watching AEW since it started. I went to the very first AEW in Washington. Great, by the way. Great show. The arena was awesome. The crowd was popping for everything. It was amazing to see Moxley literally put Kenny Omega through a fucking table, like, just feet away from me. Like, it was great. Like, he was literally just a couple feet away from me in the bar area. There was a bar area down below, and that glass table that he put him through, I could literally hear it from earshot. Like, I didn't have to listen to it on the friggin' TV and shit. Like, so yeah, man, it was dope. I had a really good time in DC.
To me, I think AEW has a lot to improve on with their product, and they got to stop with every wrestler that was in WWE. They need to get their hands on.
And they need to stop with, I have an announcement, I have an announcement, I have an announcement, I have an announcement, I have an announcement.
Yeah, so if you have an announcement, just fucking come out and make the announcement.
I said it's definitely TBS or TNT that's fucking telling them, push the announcement for next week. We need viewers. Meanwhile, the viewership didn't change at all. They're still at 950,000 viewers from last week.
That's what I'm saying.
But my thing is, like, if you're gonna come out and make an announcement, just come out and make the fucking announcement. Don't fucking sit there and tell me that you have an announcement to make. Let it be a surprise. I would have popped way more for that friggin' NJ and New Japan shit if Tony Khan didn't announce a week before. Hey, I have an announcement to make next week. Like,
it's like they all of a sudden
it's gonna get to the point. Wait, Andrew, it's gonna get to the point that you're gonna expect something big, and it's gonna be. It's gonna fall flat.
But don't get me wrong. I already from the jump. That Adam Cole and Ishii match is gonna be fucking fire. It's gonna be amazing. Because Ishii has that real hardcore Japanese strong style, and you got Adam Cole, who has spent a lot of time in Japan. So you put those two together, it's gonna be fire every time. And I think there's also going to be a lot of other good surprise matches. We'll see. I just want to see where it's going to go.
Well, I think Chris, I don't think it's Disney. You mean WB? WB is the one that owns Turner, I believe.
Yes,
not Disney.
It's Turner Sports.
Yeah, who's owned by Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's WB. It's trying to tell them to tone down with the cursing blood, but they're not. Because they're idiots. The Texas Death Match was one of them. They didn't need to have a Texas Death Match between Adam Cole and also. Did you see on Good? They people were happy the fact that they had a barbed wire crown put on top of Adam Cole's head, and it's like, oh look, they put a crown on.
And then he friggin' pile drived him through a table.
On Good Friday, and people
he reverse pile drive them through a table.
Hit Deadeye through a table. And I was like, why on Good Friday would you ever think about this? The day where basically Jesus died for us, for the Catholics and everything. Literally, you're putting a fucking crown on Adam Cole's head that's made of barbed wire. Like,
I didn't even think about it. I forgot what day it was. I didn't even think about it that day. Like,
yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. That's a valid point.
It's like, why do you need to do these things? Like, because they're, like I said before, the AEW New Japan thing, I said to Rodney, it's a reach. They're trying to reach, and they're going to reach too far, and it's not going to work out the way that people are going to think.
This is the problem with Tony being pretty much the only guy in charge.
Yes, they need to have the general manager.
Trust me, Chris. I'm asking myself the same shit. Why Tony Khan would approve that on a Good Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the commentators, I think, said it was too much.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that Tony Khan said, "Oh, we don't have writers because I'm the one that does everything," that's not always a good thing.
Yeah, I like the whole Blackpool Comic Club thing, but I don't like the fact that William Regal's there just as a manager. Like, he should have been general manager of AEW, Rampage, or Dynamite, and it could have been on screen.
And I'll say this, Andrew. If you're giving, remember also it was said the wrestlers have a lot of responsibility on their characters, but that doesn't always translate to a good thing when you have 15 wrestlers all saying they want something, and it doesn't jive with the overall picture.
Or, Drew, to elaborate to what you just said, put William Regal in charge of ROH.
Yes.
That would be killer.
Because he knew how to work a developmental brand in NXT.
The stupid part is Tony Khan said he's going to be the one booking ROH.
How are you going to book 2 shows when you can't book 4 different shows? You're putting also Tony Storm.
He's going to spread himself too thin.
I would say Tony Storm shows up for the Owen Hart qualifier.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden wrestles on Dark I'm like, what
And
the
wait
fuck?
for AEW next week. There's gonna be that shit show of a match, that fucking 5-on-5 between the Undisputed Elite and whoever else they're fucking facing. That's gonna be
Exactly,
a shit
Chris.
show of a match.
Chris,
That's gonna be a 5-on-5.
Chris, he's turning into what Vince is, and that everyone hates about Vince. He's slowly turning into some of that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. Too much.
Just because he doesn't, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised his father hasn't stepped into this shit yet.
Because I don't think his father wants anything to do with this shit.
I don't. I think his dad said, "Oh, you know what? Here, whatever. Here, shut you up. I'll give you some money. Do what you want."
But also, I heard it's also Tony Khan also owns a soccer team. I'm like, how are you fucking managing 2 or 3 different things at once? Meanwhile, you can't manage a wrestling show. It's like your soccer team, your wrestling shows. Like, pick one. It's like if Vince McMahon owned a fucking football team or a baseball team or football team, and he had to put 2 or 3 different things, he'd be going fucking crazy.
Look at this. Here's a perfect example. Vince owned the XFL, but he had people who were in charge of it.
Yes. It's gonna fucking blow up in Tony Khan's face one day that he's gonna be overwhelmed, and it's gonna be when TBS or Turner comes up to him and says, "You know, you're not improving the ratings after 3 years of being on air. We're expecting 1 million viewers or 1.5 million viewers a week. You're not getting this, so we're gonna have to can you from TBS and TNT." And it's going to be like Tony Khan searching for another TV show. And they're going to look at that numbers, and it's going to turn into AEW is going to be on YouTube or Twitch.
And Andrew, here's what's funny is Herman, okay, that worked today, was pretty much saying, Tony Khan needs to step back and stop being on television all the time, and he needs to learn how to deliver promos and not squeal and squeak all the time.
And seem like he's on cocaine all the time.
And I even asked him, and he kind of agreed. They're getting these bump in ratings, but that's for the initial factor. Like when CM Punk returned, those ratings were high, and then everyone disappeared, and you kept your same people.
Yep.
I feel like Tony Khan does a line and then goes, "Hey, let's see if this shit works."
And then he squeals like Andrew says. Like he fucking goes on a high pitch. Tonight we're gonna get this! We're gonna get that! This AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line on Rampage! Like, calm down, you motherfucker. Like everything.
You know, here's what's funny, Andrew, is you can tell he is trying to be like Vince in every way.
Yep.
Yes,
with the way Vince acts when he comes out, like we're doing this.
Yes, and no.
But at least Vince's voice doesn't crack.
I think that he's trying to be like Vince in many ways, but he's also in every way possible always trying to one up Vince, and it's fucking annoying because you make it very blatant that that's what you're trying to do. You know, you swear that. You sit there and you swear that up and down that you don't give a shit about fucking WWE and what WWE is doing, but clearly you do because you're consistently always trying to one-up them. And at the same time, if you really do pay attention, there's times where he steals fucking ideas from WWE.
Yes, 100%.
He's always stealing WWE's ideas. It might not be exactly how WWE did it, but he's still stealing ideas from them constantly. It's annoying.
I'm waiting for them to steal the Money in the Bank idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think something similar to it.
I think Rodney has something to say because I saw his mic come off.
Rodney, you have anything to say?
No, I was just listening to you guys.
Oh, man. We miss you seeing your face, buddy. Are you eating your dinner?
No, I just finished it. So I'm on camera.
Okay.
Come on, there we go.
But don't you agree, Rodney, with what we were saying?
I do agree. I'm gonna give you a correct answer, Sal. All right, you are correct. The whole point is that you got to look at AEW as this company that's trying to find their niche and way. There's going to be a lot of big borrowing and stealing from other places. There's going to be a lot of imitation, but can never be duplicated. And I expect that over Tony Khan because at the end of the day, he is a fan. I think he's more of a fan than he is a wrestling owner. And sometimes the fan can take over.
And
Yeah,
that's not a good thing.
That's definitely what happens a lot with him. It's not good at all.
Not good. That's like if Steve Cohen just bought the Mets for billions of dollars, right? If Steve Cohen ran the Mets like a fan, God only knows where the Mets would be.
Yo, he would have been over the luxury tax the first year he owned it.
Yeah, so
but he stuck to his promise that he
stuck
would
to
not.
his promise. He didn't spend it, and now he's like, now I'm going for it.
Put it this way, it's like, I'll give you a prime example. It's almost like Tony Khan. Whenever Tony Khan takes somebody from WWE and he brings them into AEW, it's literally almost like he's trying to build a fucking fantasy football team or a fantasy baseball team. Like, you're literally just picking who you want. You're offering them more money than they were making in WWE, and now you're going to give them a shot, and then you're going to one-off them, and they're gonna freaking get thrown on dark.
That's why I'm like kind of nervous about the whole. Like Tony Storm could have went back to United Kingdom. She could have went to a woman the WoW show for like
she
Tessa
could have
Blanchard's
went to Japan for a little bit.
Yeah, she could have went to Stardom. She could have did something else than go to AEW, where she's gonna get lost in the mix one day. I see this happening after Britt Baker. This whole Owen Hart tournament thing, that I see her being lost in the mix again.
You want my honest opinion about Tony Storm? I think Tony Storm should have went to Impact.
Yes.
Tony Storm would have been fire on Impact.
Juice Robinson's contract with New Japan is coming to an end. So there is more things that Juice Robinson might end up going to Impact or AEW with his wife. But it's also the fact that they should have went to. If Tony Storm went to Impact, it would have been a bigger situation for Impact. Mm-hmm. And Chris Branson, and I like I've seen people say in wrestling groups, Mark, everything's already been done in wrestling. It's how you put the twist on it to make it be new that matters. Something that Tony Khan is earning a massive F for right now because there's no fucking effort to put a new twist on it. Like Impact with Feast or Fired. They had 4 briefcases on a pole, which was probably one of the best gimmick matches other than Money in the Bank. 3 cases had an X Division championship shot, the World Championship title shot, and a tag team title shot. So you'd see a tag team, somebody who was in a tag team mainly go for a briefcase that might be the tag team. You might see tag teams break up. So if they got to come up with their own twist on a Money in the Bank situation where it's like anybody can win a situation, but it's literally going to be WWE. They're going to say they copy WWE. I like their version of the Battle Royales, like the Casino Battle Royales.
Casino Royale is a cool gimmick.
You pulled aces. You pulled an ace, so you're going out with a group of aces. You pulled a jack. You're going out with the pair of jacks, kings, queens, and then whoever pulled the Joker card comes out last. Boom, that's it.
But with Money in the Bank, you don't always necessarily have to challenge for the WWE title. You can challenge for any title, right?
No, it's a heavyweight championship.
It has to be a heavyweight. Okay.
But I kind of wish WWE.
I kind of wish they would stop that and they would make it any title. Because what if somebody's in a tag team already and they want?
Yeah, Otis. I would have loved to see Otis and Tucker instead of breaking them up.
Everybody made a joke about it, but said, "Hey, what if Otis challenged for the tag titles instead?" They should have done that.
This is incredible. What a package!
Like, if anything, if Money in the Bank is going to be a pay-per-view, WWE's got to buy more ladders for that pay-per-view, and they should have a women's match, a mid-card match, a heavyweight match, and then like for the heavyweight, one for the mid-card, one for the tag, and one for the women.
And
actually, that's the pay-per-view.
You could do it this way, Andrew. You can actually have the winner of the mid-card title challenge either the U.S. or the Intercontinental. Yes. The women, of course, either or. The tag title, either or.
And you know who else you can integrate with Money in the Bank? Because if it's going to be a big five, Rodney, our boys down in NXT Money in the Bank ladder match. That's how you get eyes on them. Money in the Bank should just be full of briefcases that night, no regular matches, so you don't get a cash in on that pay-per-view. Because I got sick of the cash in on the pay-per-view. Once Bayley did it, once Alexa Bliss did it, once Kane did it. Like, that you wasted a Money in the Bank briefcase because you're cashing in on the same show. Kane could have cashed it in on a Rey Mysterio a week later, but had to do it on the night of Money in the Bank. Like, make it a whole night of where it's for championship opportunities are on the line. No championships, so the champions can take the night off, relax, don't have a risk of getting injured one night, or they can have a night where they can go home to their families, or have a night where their families can come backstage and they just watch the event backstage. And then if you have a Charlotte Flair, a Bianca Belair, you have them pull them out to the crowd, you have them sit watching the match so you can see who you might get cashed in on. And let them see with their own eyes. The Intercontinental Championship and United States Champion go out. The Tag Team Champions go out. Then
you know what, Andrew?
What?
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
I agree with you. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Could we keep saying NXT should be featured on Mania? If Money in the Bank is becoming a big five pay-per-view because it's in a stadium this year, you got it. You can showcase them in a stadium, and you can see how they react to the crowd reacts to them in a big time situation.
Yep.
Oh man.
Because imagine you saw that ladder match, the 5-way ladder match for the North American Championship, but that was a ladder match for the briefcase situation at an outdoor event. It'd be sick.
Yeah. But like I said, man, we got some shit show matches coming next week on AEW. Yep. Rodney, I don't know if you were paying attention when I said there's going to be supposedly a 5-on-5 tag match between the Undisputed Elite and whatever, I guess, 5 people they choose, which I'm assuming is going to somehow probably wind up involving freaking Jungle Express,
Christian,
Jurassic Express, I'm sorry, and Christian and
somehow Hangman Page and some other schmuck that hates the Undisputed Elite.
Yeah. Maybe Marco Stunt will make an appearance.
Oh, Marco Stunt's released.
Bruh.
But today it's been a wild Andrew's Hot Takes. I would like to thank everybody that commented. Jessica Hoffman, Christopher Brand, Runjin. I got to thank K Marvel for showing up. I got to say.
Wait. Let me say one thing. Someone just posted on Yep, I Like Wrestling saying WWE did it first. January 27th, 1990. Vince McMahon appears at an AJPW event to announce that a show with WWF, AJPW, and NJPW talent will be held the 13th of April at the Tokyo Dome. So WWE did it already.
Okay, fair enough. But there's one thing I did want to talk about before we sign.
Oh yeah, your dream.
I didn't get to talk about my dream. So I had guys in the comments. I had a really good wrestling dream the other day. Actually, yesterday, I believe it was. So I was watching Raw. Okay, it was Orton finally turned on Riddle, and they were going at it. And then Cody came out, and Cody and Orton just started going at it. They were having a phenomenal match. And then the lights cut out, and MJF's music hit. It was so badass, and it was literally like I was there, like I was literally watching it. That shit felt mad real. And then a whole bunch of other AEW wrestlers started coming out, like Jay Lethal, Samoa Joe, and it was like this big ass AEW into WWE takeover.
Oh wow,
that's badass.
Yeah, I was like, yo, if that shit happens, oh my god.
Like I said, if if you really, when the pandemic started coming to a basic end where fans came back, they should have did like a wrestling invasion thing, pay-per-view style, like New Japan, AEW, WWE, Impact, all should have did like sub type of thing. But right now we're getting AEW and New Japan.
Trust
Pro
me,
Wrestling.
if it wasn't, trust me, at this point, bro, and I'm gonna say
I know
this,
it's never gonna happen.
if it wasn't Vince and it was Triple H in charge, it would have happened already.
Yep. But that was a wicked ass dream. But so I'd like to say thank you, Mitch, Jessica Hoffman, Kishan, Christopher Brown, Runjin, Kenny Klein for joining it, coming and commenting. I'd like to thank
Marvel for showing up for
K Marvel for showing up, Chris Carlos for showing up for an hour and a half. I'd like to thank my co-host Michael Iceberg Steinberg.
Oh, wait! One more thing. I found the thing from Josh Alexander.
Okay.
He says, as you've seen with the AEW signing up everybody that they can and all this other stuff, it's just like the waters are kind of picked dry a little bit. And whoever's left is kind of fighting for what's ever left. So he sees that it's, why am I going to go there when I'm going to get lost in the shuffle?
Yep.
When you go over there, you're over there sitting like Festus.
when other people are seeing what we're seeing, and these are wrestlers, that's not a good thing.
Yep. But yeah, that's a good comment by Josh Alexander. But thank you to Michael Iceberg Steinberg, or his wacky ass title, to Mark Ella Ray, or the mechanic. I'm gonna call him you're looking awesome today. Rodney, you shaved?
I shaved my head and my neckline.
And to Rodney, I Love Wrestling Harris, because last night he was taking mad great action shots. He got a couple good action shots during the night. But
yes,
everybody, please be safe this weekend and next weekend.
And catch me, Rodney, and Chris on Monday for Behind the Barricade.
From 6 to 8. Get your Peacock. Also watch Rebellion this weekend.
Yeah.
And have a good night. And I'll see you next week. Actually, no show next week.
Next week we might do something special for the draft.
Yes. That I forgot. Next week's there's no hot takes, but the Muse might be doing a live draft
special.
Yes. So everybody have a good night and stay styling, profiling, like Rodney's shirt says.